consistently it's not breaking the mold and having a rigidity of thought. I saw this in my career in technology prior to my time in Ukraine, especially when my team and I were trying to enact organizational change. And there's an issue, there's a fear of accepting new thought at the risk of showing previous work that has been done in a negative light. And that it might create a negative internal stakeholder image. So getting people to buy in to doing things differently can be challenging. The moment that was, I don't know if scary is the right word, but the phrase I have to use, the risk of sounding self-gratuitous, typefulness, courage, was going into Ukraine. So it's before I'd even entered the conflict zone. And that was because I had no idea what was on the other side of the border and what was waiting for me. And I had this sort of seminal moment of driving down the motorway with, lots of cars and lorries, and then every single one of them peeled off to stay inside Poland. And it was just me and my small car driving on my own, utterly alone. And I could have turned around. I robbed one of them. That was a decision that had to be made, and not one I took lightly. But of course, the great irony is that when I did cross the border, I was then in Lviv, which is as far in Western Ukraine as you can get. That was the safest place I ever was. I spent the 3 years following that in frontline areas. So it is a testament that your fear of the unknown is stronger than the actual risks you will face in reality, and therefore why it is so important to put it aside and keep going anyway. That I'm ex-military. People assume I have a military background, or that I have been trained to operate in conflict zones, or that I've worked in an NGO. I am very much just a normal person. Went through COVID like everyone else in lockdown in my flat in London, got a dog. And what I learned in Ukraine is that you don't need a military background. What you need is a respect for your environment, the humility to learn and adapt to it constantly, and never take for granted that what you know is still valid. It's very simple. And at the risk of sounding slightly obvious, having a very clear vision and purpose and communicating it. All of us have gone to team meetings or even company-wide meetings where there is probably quite a boring PowerPoint and the company will talk about what's happening. If everyone across all levels doesn't understand why they're there and what you're asking them to do, you're never going to get the most effective use out of people. Now, for me, in a conflict zone, I was asking people to put their lives on the line. I was asking them to do things as volunteers. They were not receiving a salary, and giving up their time and their life at home. If you do not communicate a clear purpose to people, not only overall, but even just day to day. Today we're doing this because that creates that situation, and that will enable this, and this is why that is important. Then people will buy in, and then people will perform well. They will be loyal. You also means you empower them to act independently of you, in line with the values and the purpose that you are trying to create. So you can trust them that even when they're not with you, they know exactly why they're doing what they're doing, and they will execute it in the way and the manner that you want them to.